Guten Tag and welcome back everybody to the second part of my mod spotlight for refined storage. We reached a new version yesterday well, not actually additions to the mod, but a few he added a few possibilities. Let's just say it like that. I will show you later on. But we will start with where we left off last time, with automated crafting. We built this crafter and we put in these basic patterns for just simple crafting like you would do in a crafting bench. For example, craft a crafting bench, and we can see in the crafting monitor that nothing has happened. Oh, it's already done. Oh, I think because we improved the speed. Let's craft 10. Let's see. There we go. And you can see here it's crafting, and we are gaining crafting tables. This is what we did last time with the basic auto crafting system. What we want to do today is to craft with the use of external machines. And we will start so by doing it with the alloy smelter from Ender.io. Let's grab a smelter, a capacitor, so we have enough, so we have enough juice to power it. Well, let's see, here, place it here, there we go. Oops. There's the regular alloy smelter from Ender.io, filling up with energy. All we need now is a crafter. I will pick this one and place it here. Let's see. Is it facing the right way? I hope. Oh yeah, it's facing the right way. Good. So now we have this crafter, and the essential part is the crafter must face this side, must face the machine it should use. Now it is facing into the alloy smelter. Excuse me. Now we can make all the recipes that are possible within the alloy smelter. For example, let's say we want to do energetic alloy. An energetic alloy here is made from redstone, gold and glowstone in an alloy smelter, which leads to energetic alloy. All you need to do now is produce one energetic alloy manually in an alloy smelter, and then you can make a pattern for it. Oh, I didn't do it. Let's see here. One gold, one glowstone, one redstone. This is the recipe to make energetic alloy. We will place it here in the processing pattern encoder and smelt manually the actual ingot. I should have sped that up. Let's see. Oxidic capacitor. Good. Now we have our energetic alloy. We have the materials on the left. We have the energetic alloy as a result on the right. Now we can write the pattern. When you look at the pattern, we have the input and we have the output. That is all we need. We can now place that in the adjacent crafter, and we can now craft. You can see here energetic alloy. Let's say make 10. Start it. The monitor will tell you 10 are made, and you can see here the actual system is working. Oh, what we forgot now, we need to transfer the finished product back into the cycle. And to do that, we will need, that is not defined. We will need an importer, and the importer will feed back into the loop. Here we go. And now it will smelt again, produce 1 ingot, and feed it back into the system. There you have it. 2, 3, and so on. It will continue until it has all 10 made up. The good thing with Ender.io is these machines know exactly what recipes are possible with the materials to feed them. You don't have to think about where to feed the materials into the machine. The machine knows it by itself. It gets a little bit more complicated with different machines. For example, just a simple furnace requires specific inputs. In a furnace, you will input the material you want to smelt from the top, the fuel from behind, and the finished product. Find your words, Buster. From below. This is the way a furnace works. To implement something like a furnace into the system, we need to get a little bit more creative, because the crafter only has one side and it outputs the materials in only one side. So in order to do something like a furnace, we need to be a little bit more creative. I will show you how to do it. First of all, we need the importer again to import the materials that are finished back into the system. And you can use, for example, a Yeta wrench to rotate the importer. There you go. On top of the importer, we will place the furnace. Now we need a crafter, and the crafter will put, for example, coal and whatever we want to burn, let's say iron ore or a simple steak, into the furnace. I have to rearrange that. Let's see. We will start differently. We will start with the crafter first. The crafter will go on top of here. The crafter will always put out all the materials in front of it. Let's say in terms of a steak, we have raw beef and we have coal as a fuel. The crafter will put out both of this in front of it. When we put this both into a furnace, it won't happen. We have to come up with a different solution. Therefore, we will use, I will use an item buffer. You can use a regular chest, but since we are buffering items, I will just use an item buffer. But you can use a regular oak chest or whatever you want as well. So now the crafter will put out all the materials into the item buffer, meaning one beef will go here, one coal will go here. Now we have to spread this out into the furnace into the right way. To do that, we will use conduits, item conduits from Ender.io. I am pretty sure you can use different mods for this. You can even use regular hoppers for this with a item filter. It's absolutely no problem. You can use whatever you want to filter the items. And as I said, we need to go, we need to feed in from, well, let's see how I want to do it. Here. Here will go the coal, here will go the raw beef, and here will be the furnace. And here will be the importer. Turn it, connect it. Good. Now the system is more or less ready to work. What we need to do now is extract here. This is fine. And import here. And when we import here, we need to do it with a filter to determine which has to go where. As you can see here now, because I changed this to import, the raw beef will end up here. And this is exactly what we want in this case. Good. Filter raw beef, ready to go. On this side, there should end up coal. When we flip this to insert now. Oh, it even did the coal, because beef can't go there. Oh, I was correct here. Give me another filter. Input filter, input coal, ready to go. And because we have the importer, the steak is already in the system. Now all we have to do, grab the steak and make a recipe for it. Go to the processing pattern encoder, put beef and coal on the left and the finished steak on the right. Write the pattern, put the pattern into the according crafter, put the raw materials into the system and craft 11 steaks. There you go. And here you have it. Nice. The same way we did it with the furnace, we can automate the solderer as well. Although, because of chaining of production processes, this is a little bit more tricky. For example, we have the solderer right. Oh well, let's place the importer first. There we have the importer. Boop. Place the solderer on top. Good. To do what we did with the furnace, we have to do exactly the same with the solderer. I showed this already in my modern Let's Play series, but because of the mod spotlight, I will show, of course, here again. We have 3 different input sites for 3 different materials that go into the solderer, and the output from below. We placed the importer already. Here, these, need an empty hand, good. We will use here, let's see, we need 3 of those. We need to put this on import and put an item filter there. Do this for all 3, good. And here as well. Now we can filter the items that should go in the corresponding slot of the solderer. For example, to make a basic processor, we need a printed processor, we need printed silicon, and we need redstone. And we need it in this particular order. And this will lead to a basic processor. Let's see. Make the left half of the pattern first, so we can use the material here. Oh, we need to connect it. I will use here for now. Top, middle, and bottom. This will lead to a basic processor. This is the right side of our pattern. Grab the pattern, right, good. Now, because the crafter will always put out all the materials in front of it, we need the same system as over here. Place a regular chest or a item buffer like I do here, and the crafter facing the item buffer. Okay, remove this, turn this in the right direction. Whoop. Here we go. There's the buffer. Connect it with a cable. There. This is not a cable. Thank you very much. This is a cable. And connect the importer as well. So now the system knows the solderer and can import back again. And we need the power from the system. Now we can place this pattern into the crafter and it will show up here. When we now craft one, the materials will end up here. No, they won't. Oh, because I don't have export yet. Good. So let's see, export. Now the materials will be exported. And you see here, they are in the wrong order because we don't have initialized the filters yet. The items don't know where to go. So from the left side, we will enter the top item, which is the printed processor. Again, empty hand. From the top side, which is the middle slot, will go the redstone. And from the right side, which is the bottom slot, will go the printed silicon. And now, remove that, craft it. And here we go. And we don't have printed silicon left. Let's see. Will it grab it? Yeah, it will. And it will craft. Oh, grab a few speed upgrades. Refined store. No. Just typing with the left hand is difficult. Boop, boop, boop. And this way you can even automate something more difficult like the solderer very easily. And we have the basic processor in here. Now we face a problem. Because of the way the system works, it is difficult to chain specific processes. For example, we don't have printed silicon left. Now we will make a pattern for printed silicon. Let's see. Just print one silicon here. So we have the material. Oh, we need one more silicon. Thank you very much. Now, put the silicon on the left side, put the printed silicon on the right side, write the pattern, and place it into the crafter. Easy as a charm. Now, the silicon has to go into the middle slot. We will place it here, right next to the redstone. So whenever we now want to craft printed silicon, do it. The system knows where it has to go and it will craft a printed silicon. Take it out. When we now want to craft a basic processor, it will auto-craft the printed silicon as well when it is missing. Let's try that and see what happens. When we look into the solderer now, we will see here 2 of the 3 materials for the processor are in the solderer, but not the printed silicon because the printed silicon is missing. When we look into the monitor, we see that it wants to craft the printed silicon. The way the system works is the item you want to craft goes into the queue. Then the system checks if something is missing. But then already the materials that were present at that time went into the solderer. Now the system checks and sees, okay, I don't have printed silicon, so I have to craft printed silicon first. But because these items already went into there, it can't craft the printed silicon. Therefore, you have to set up a second solderer. And the second solderer should produce all these single materials, like a printed processor or printed silicon. So every time this machine gets fed with the end result products or ingredients, the second solderer must produce all the missing ingredients. I hope that was clear. So if this would have been the second setup, we would have produced printed silicon. This goes then back into the system. Then the system checks again if everything is correct and it produces the processor. And now you saw it did what it should have done first. But because of the way the system checks crafting queues or crafting ingredients, you have to chain the processes for yourself. The system won't do it for you. The same would it be with, let's say you want to craft vibrant alloy. Vibrant alloy is energetic alloy, which we are doing here, plus an ender pearl. So if you want to chain craft stuff like that, you need a second alloy smelter. In first you smelt the energetic alloy, and in the second one you smelt the vibrant alloy. Otherwise the materials won't end up in the wrong order and the system would mess up. Okay, this is auto crafting. I hope it was more or less understandable explained. If not, or if you have any questions or suggestions, please leave a comment down below and I will try to explain everything that you didn't get. Or if I got something wrong, I will try to understand what you try to explain to me. I totally forgot something. It only came to my mind way after I already recorded the episode. One of the most awesome features I totally forgot about. We can now, get rid of that block. We can now cover the cables and importers and exporters and all the stuff
thanks to the support of MC Multipart in Chisel and Bits, for example. This is awesome. You can see here, I can now cover this cable behind a wall. Of course, it doesn't have to be wood, it can be anything else. I just got wood here. That sounded wrong. I just used wood. And you can cover it now. You can see here it is flush with the block, which is absolutely amazing. So you can now cover your cables in whatever materials you like. Even this. If you want to do it. The developer, I hope I get your name right, Raoul, has covered one of his cables in Rust and posted it on Twitter. It was really amazing. So this is the stuff you can actually now do. You can cover your cables and stuff you don't want to see from this most awesome mod. And with this last awesome feature, the episode is finally concluded. See you in the next one. Take care of yourselves and rock on.